raw to the bone. Happy fucking Monday, y'all. But most of all, happy Halloween. Yes, I say happy Halloween because this is one of the favorite days of the year. All right. And so, with that, while you guys are joining in, I'm going to set the mood as I get ready to start the show. But we're just going to talk about Halloween shit this morning, you know? But even though it's Halloween, what do I always say? What? Wake up early, gonna rise in the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, hey protagonist, hey boo. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Hey, wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. Hey, and if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day and call it replication. What? Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. It's Halloween, y'all. Today's gonna be a good day. Hey, wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Let me say, wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Oh, I can't. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. So life ain't easy, yo. I think there's a reason, though. What? Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, y'all. You always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts. I'm over here playing on IG, y'all. They'll never stop unless I can swap. Hey, blissfully evolving. Come on in. Hey, Cherylee. Up. So I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive vibes are overtaken. I got patience. One day at a time. That's how you operate a cadence. Come on in. Hey, Nika. Show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. Come on. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness through my best, but I'll take it. Hey, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Hey, wake up. What? Wake up. Hey, wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. It is Monday. It is Monday. It is Monday. Happy Monday and happy Halloween. All right. Now, y'all know I dressed up as a fairy on Friday night for Coffee with Friends After Dark. So what I did this morning is I just clipped these butterflies back in honor of Halloween, put this pink robe on over my yoga clothes, and I jumped on TikTok, right? Because in the morning, I'm back on TikTok, y'all. I'm no longer banned from my lives. All right. I jumped on TikTok to do coffee with friends as I was making my coffee, and I have a chit chat session with them. And good morning, Pat. Good morning, Angel. Right. And a gentleman jumped on because I said, I don't know what I am. I just didn't want to do my show today without being in costume of some sort. You know what he called me? I love it. He called me Mother Nature. So that is it, y'all. That is my costume today. He said, I am Mother. He said, you are Mother Nature. And I said, you know what? I feel that shit. Thank you. So that is what I'm calling my costume today. Mother Nature. The gentleman named Darren on TikTok named my costume Mother Nature because I have the butterflies everywhere. Okay, I love it. I love it. Mm. I love it. I love it. Good morning. Any of y'all do anything exciting this weekend? I had a good weekend, y'all. You know, Friday, what did I do? I did Coffee with Friends After Dark. Hey, Blissfully Evolving. I did Coffee with Friends After Dark. And then, I had date night, okay, which is always yummy, right?
And then Saturday, I dedicated to lounging around the house, folding my laundry and shit like that, and relaxing because I knew that Sunday was going to be a big day. Well, baby, how many of y'all knew that Swankaposh? How many people shop occasionally from Swankaposh? It's a retail store, right? That started advertising on IG, and it's always the girl Juicy who's trying on these jeans called Super Guy jeans, and they're supposed to fit the biggest of the asses in the universe, right? And I'm here to say, I don't have the biggest of the asses in the universe. I don't. I have a wide, well, I'm kind of wide, right? I have a wide build, right? And so, when I'm not always trying to fit the jeans for my ass, I'm trying to fit the jeans for my hips. So I can definitely say that Swinkaposh jeans, they fit. Like I could have got into a small, but I was like, nah. Okay, let me not get into a small just because I can get into a small. But I bought two of the Super God jeans. They had a pop-up shop in Soho, and they had their Super God jeans there, and they had some of their other staple items there. And I was so glad that I was invited to that. So thank you, Nakia Monet. She's not on my show this morning. But she did invite me to go to the pop-up shop. So it was fun, y'all. So we spent the day in Soho. Then we went to a restaurant called Arthur and Sons, right? Another restaurant that was hyped up on IG. But when I read the reviews of Arthur and Sons, we walked from the East Village where the pop-up shop was all the way to the West Village to have um lunch at Arthur and Sons. And even though it was hyped up on IG, they did not have the greatest of write-ups for their food. Hey Glamour 47, hey Christine Beauty Lounge. They didn't have the best write-up of the food. They said they're a fun place, their drinks are good. Now I'm gonna tell you, the food wasn't, I'm not going back there. I'm not, right? It was, but the drinks were good, but they were expensive as fuck. I had a Jack with a splash of ginger ale. The shit was $22, y'all. Now, I mean, it's one thing that I gotta suffer when I go to the grocery store, but I'm not on purpose gonna go out and just be spending because I'm a drink more than one drink. Okay, I'm gonna have like three or four. And at $22 a pop for a drink, the food wasn't, we had spicy rigatoni, what alla vodka sauce, right? And we added the meatballs. Now, the lady said it's a family style, so you can share. And thank God she said that. So we ordered one rigatoni, one with meatballs. Okay, one spicy rigatoni with meatballs, and we each had a drink a piece. You know how much our bill was? $90. $90 for one order of rigatoni, a Jack, and she had gin and tonic. $90. That's without tax, y'all. So we spent $100 on lunch for one plate. Now, if she would have ordered a plate and I would have ordered a plate, that lunch would have been over $200. Just ridiculous. Hey, mother. Good morning. Hey, Zen. Good morning. So it's expensive to go out. So after we left Arthur and Sons, of course, we walked all the way back to the East Village, back to Soho to get the car. And then we winded up in Jersey City at Cherry's Lounge, right? Nothing like hitting the lounge in your local neighborhood. Well, I don't live in Jersey City, but I still consider it local. It's still in New Jersey. And not that far from me, right? We hit the Cherries Lounge and we watched the football game. Now, I don't really watch sports, but I love the camaraderie. I love, the I just love being around people when they're chit-chatting among each other. So it was a fun and cool environment. So ultimately, I'm here to say that I had a great weekend, y'all. I did. I appreciate the friends that come in and out of my life at various times. Nakia Monet is my son's ex-girlfriend. Um from many many years ago, but we still keep in touch. We've been doing this since 2000 and let me 8, right? About that, right? And sometimes we don't see each other for years, and then sometime, we're just together. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate people that come in and out, and we can still enjoy each other's company. It's a blessing. Right? So that was my weekend, y'all. What did y'all do for the weekend? It is Halloween. Anybody got anything exciting to do today for the weekend? All right. Protagonist, you said I should have stopped at $44. I know that shit is right. I should have stopped at $44. Mm. Oh my God. I was gonna bring I have a topic that I want to discuss, but I decided I'm gonna discuss it tomorrow because today is Halloween and I wanted to throw out this question. What is the creepiest thing that has ever happened to you in your life? Has anything creepy ever happened to you? I don't know where Georgie is, but last night Kiss the Boys, aka Georgie, I don't know if you follow her on TikTok, right? And I'm hoping that she joins the live this morning. But she had a very creepy situation happen last night. And I could talk about it because she put it on TikTok and it was public. She went live. And, thank God for Ring. Right. I live in an apartment building, so I don't have Ring. I'm thinking about putting Ring on my door, right? So at least I know who comes to my front door. I'm not sure yet, right? But it's something to think about. Okay, because Georgie had a very scary situation last night, y'all. And we just talked about our women, how our women are not safe, right? And people are saying our women have never been safe, right? But last night Georgie went live and she was very nervous and very scared. Her Ring showed a strange man on her porch, right? And even though she asked him to get off her porch, he did not leave her porch. She called 911. The gentleman heard her calling 911. Okay, she was on the phone with the police and had the Ring thing on so that the gentleman can hear she's calling 911, and you can hear Georgie is very nervous. This man still did not leave her balcony. He proceeded to stay and pace around her balcony for about 10 minutes, even though she called the police. Okay? Even though she called the police. Now, why was this man on the balcony of her home? Many of us, not the balcony, the porch, many of us think that once we get behind our doors in our home, that we are safe. That we are safe. But why was this man lurking around for 10 minutes? And why was he not even afraid when he heard her voice and called the cops? But the worst part in all of this? The cops never showed up. The cops never showed up, y'all. Okay? The cops never showed up. What is the creepiest thing that ever happened to y'all? It don't have to be creepy like a horror thing, but I could tell y'all that, one of the scariest things that happened to me was when my son was an infant. And me and my baby daddy was coming home. Now, this was during the crack era years, okay? And so motherfuckers was bold. They were just stealing from you, outright stealing. And this one particular day, we're heading home, right? I got you, Johnny Leon Helm. We're heading home back to the apartment. And I was naive, right? I was a naive 16-year-old. I didn't understand the street life like that or anything like that. So you could have told me anything and I believed it. True story. All right. And so we get to the house and I lived in the basement. We lived in a basement apartment in Queens, St. Albans, right? And we put the key in the door. And as we're about to open the door, a guy, I got you, Zen, a guy or somebody was holding the door so we couldn't get in. And I was like, motherfuckers are in my house. And I'm pushing the door and I'm pushing the door because I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking. I'm pushing the door and I'm like, motherfuckers, get out my house. Motherfuckers, get out my house. Right. And my baby daddy runs around the front. My neighbors hear me banging. My neighbors that lived above us heard me banging. They come outside. The husband come outside with his gun and chased these motherfuckers who was in my house, climbed through the window, one of the windows in the bathroom, climbed out the windows and was jumping over bushes to get out. But when I got in my house, baby, these motherfuckers was eating my food. They went in my refrigerator. They ate my leftovers. They were drinking beer. They were smoking cigarettes, smoking crack. They done stole my money, everything. It was like they were having a shindig in my house. They were having a crack house moment in my apartment. Right. And I looked at my baby daddy and I said, this got to be some motherfuckers, you know. They had to know our schedule. Who gets comfortable enough in somebody's house where they eating your leftovers and they smoking and drinking your beer and shit like that? Hmm? And stole all my money. That was about the creepiest or the scariest thing, one of the creepiest or scariest things that has happened to me. It's not like a horror thing, right? Or whatever, but it was something creepy. It was something that made me think, damn, my life was in danger. And then I was afraid to sleep there after that because I'm like, these motherfuckers might come back. Okay. Hey, Madison. Good morning. Thank you. Johnny Leon Hill. So my question to y'all is, what is the creepiest or the scariest thing that has ever happened to y'all in honor of Halloween? Let's talk about that shit, right? Because some of that shit could leave a trauma or something on you, you know. Johnny Leon Hill said, one of the creepiest things that happened to me, my wife and I was driving on vacation, and we've been to this place before, but this time the GPS took us a different way. It was pitch black. Wow. That must have been scary, Johnny Leon Hill. That reminds me of the first trip that I went on with my cousins and some friends. It was all women, and we stayed at the Tree House in Jamaica in the Grill. That hotel is still there. Y'all, I've only stayed there once, maybe twice, right? But that was in the 90s. Okay. And we had the room that the glass windows went all the way around, so we had this aerial view of outside. It was beautiful. And one night, we were just chilling. We were drinking, we were fucked up, right? And all of a sudden, because it was so pitch black out there, all of a sudden we heard this bang, bang, bang on the door. And we hollered. Some of us ran and hid because we like, who the fuck is knocking on our door? Who comes to visit you at a resort in Jamaica? Everybody that knows us, we're in the room together. So who the fuck is knocking on our door at wee hours of the night? I get to the door. We get to the door because not just I or a bunch of us went to the door together. We looked out the window first. We saw nobody. Nobody was the fuck out there. Right? Then we cracked open the door. Nobody was out there. Okay. I said, oh my God, we just did what the fuck I said don't do in horror movies. You know how motherfuckers be going to the window and peeping out the door, and you be like, why the fuck y'all going to the window? Why y'all going to the door? You see how you could say you're not going to do some stupid shit until you do some stupid shit? Well, we went to the window and the door and nobody was there. I'm telling you, I never forgot that shit because I was like, damn. Like, is somebody at the resort that fucking mean to scare the fuck out of a bunch of women? Mm. What's the scariest or the creepiest thing that has ever happened to you? Zen said, I lived with a ghost. Actually, there were three, had lots of activity. Like, what kind of activity, Zen? Like, what kind of activity did the ghost have? It's funny because my granddaughter, she always told me from when she was little, and they still live in the same house right now. When she was little, she always saw this man dressed in black, and he wears like a black top hat. And he's always like, she always sees him staring at her, but he never speaks and she never speaks, right? This is from when she was a little girl, honest to God. And through her early teens, she was still seeing this one man in her house. And she said, me, mom, He has never spoken to me and I have never spoken to him. And I used to ask her when she was a little girl, are you afraid? At first she was like, yes, I be scared a little bit. I'm scared a little bit. But then as she got older, I was like, are you afraid? And she said, no, he don't speak to me and I don't speak to him. Good morning, Hearts of Fire. And so, this is what I tell people all the time is, when people tell these stories and people be like, bullshit. I don't believe that shit. But the same people will run around and be like, I was at church on Sunday and I caught the Holy Ghost and I was jumping around. I was jumping around with the Holy Ghost. But when somebody tell you that there's ghosts in their house, you be like, you lying. You lying. But you was just in church Sunday talking about you caught the Holy Ghost. So if there's a Holy Ghost, why the fuck wouldn't you think that there's an unholy ghost? That's the thing that makes my ass itch with society, because they push the agenda of believe in God, believe that there's a higher power, believe this, believe that. And as soon as you say the devil was in my face or some evil shit happened to me or I saw some ghost, people are like, you need a pill. You need to be on the 6th floor in the hospital. You crazy. You ain't see shit. Why y'all like that? Right? When my granddaughter told me about that ghost in her house, I believed it. How could I not? I can't believe there's a good and not believe there's a bad. We talk about it all the time, but we don't want to believe it's real. It's weird, right? It's really weird to me anyway, right? Hearts of Fire say it's spiritual. Spiritual in what way? You mean the ghost? Seeing the ghost is spiritual? I was listening to someone describe the word spiritual, right? And they said spirit means breath. I think I got this right, right? And spiritual is the art of breathing, something to that nature, right? Because I guess he was breaking it down because he said so many people say I'm spiritual, I'm spiritual. He said, but spirit is just breath. The meaning of spirit is breath, right? Exactly, Hearts of Fire. But why don't people believe that? Hearts of Fire says spirits are good, are real, good and bad. But as soon as you tell somebody you see a bad spirit, they think you crazy. Why? I dropped my guest link up there if anybody want to join and tell us of their ghost experience or something to that nature, because this is real. When I was growing up in the South Bronx, well, I didn't grow up in the South Bronx because I left before I could grow up. But I was in the South Bronx for about 2 years of my life. But there, you know how we say kids don't remember shit? I might have been there longer. I might have been there 4 years of my life because I believe, or maybe 5, because I believe I did kindergarten in the Bronx and then we moved to Queens. But neither here nor there. You know how we say kids don't remember a lot of stuff at that young age? I remember there was a girl who lived in our building in the Bronx. She lived on the first floor and she was very sick, right? And one particular day, me and my cousin went to visit her. And the family was in there and they came out and they were like, no, you can't visit her. The priest is in there, this is in there, that. And we were like, what? And they were like, they think she's possessed. And I was like, what? And I remember being a little kid. I don't remember if I said what, but I feel like I was shocked, right? Because I remember being in the hallway, looking around and going, possessed, like I don't even know what that means. And they were like, the devil has her, whatever. And they had a priest and they were doing the exorcism and all this stuff. And I remember this from when I was little, right? And so when I told a couple of people this story, they were like, nah, but why not? Why not? We call the priest and the pastor for other shit. We be like, pray for us, pastor, pray for us, bless our kids and shit, right? But we don't call the pastor when we think something wrong, when we think we got an evil spirit. Cheryl said, wait, let me go up. Okay. Cheryl said he had to be mental. Thieves know and pay attention to where cameras may be. Well, we didn't have no cameras back then. That was in the 90s, right? And it was more than one. They were having a party. in my house. Cheryl oh, oh, you talking about for Kiss the Boys, Cheryl, when you said he had to be mental, he did look mental, right? Okay, he did look mental and he laid down on her porch. I was scared for her. I hope she jumps on this live because she did come back on and she said the police finally responded, or whatever. And the guy was gone, but she said she's afraid he might come back. Hey, Brandilla, good morning. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. I also got to go to Rice to Riches, y'all, in the village. And let me tell you something. Rice to Riches is on Spring Street, okay? And it's yummy, yummy. But I don't know. The pandemic must have got it's hard to get people to work. So there was one girl in there working and she had a whole attitude, right? And now they limit how many flavors you could taste. Rice to Riches has a bunch of flavors of rice pudding. And they now limit it to 3 flavors you could taste. I get it. I understand it. Okay. But this lady had a whole attitude. Okay. I said to her, it used to be fun in here. Because when you go to Rice to Riches, they got a bunch of little signs that say kiss my skinny fat ass, or this place is not for skinny bitches and shit like that, right? It's a fun place. This woman has such an attitude. It just reminds me that motherfuckers need hugs. I just want to throw that in there. So back to the ghost. All right. Cheryl Eve said, I believe it. Energy never dies, good or bad, right? So why do we think people are crazy when they tell us about these things? Zen said, my first experience was the day I moved in. Was moving in with roommates and my room was in the attic, but it was finished. It was warm. So I opened the windows while we were bringing stuff up. Went down, came back up. Window was shut. Opened it, went back down, came back up. Window was closed. Opened it again, went downstairs, came back. Window was shut. I was like, fuck it. Oh my God, Zen. Now that is scary. Oh my God. Zen said, I left it closed, went downstairs, came back up, window was open. Oh my God. No, Zen. And you went to sleep up there? You still stayed there? Right, Hearts of Fire. I never liked Georgie is okay as of last night when I checked on her. I was hoping she'd come on a show this morning. I'm gonna check on her after, but everybody could just check in on Georgie, okay? Kiss the boys. All right. I didn't like rice pudding until I went to Rice to Riches. Okay. I got the cream cheese rice pudding. Well, not cream cheese. Cheesecake rice pudding. And yes, we're talking about what's the scariest or creepiest thing that has happened to you, Brandilla, across your life. Cheesecake with the graham cracker crumble on top. Zen, that is fucking scary. You went back up there and slept. Johnny Leon Hill said, there was a time when I was a teenager, I felt a presence near my door, but no one was there. Then I heard my mom calling my name. She said, saw a figure that looked like me standing outside my door. What? Oh my God. That is wow. That's wow. Right, Heart to Fire. Heart to Fire says, so Zen, we would have to move. I'm telling you, the fuck. All right. Pat said, Johnny, that was scary. Oh my God. Your mother said, what? You got me looking out oh my God. These stories are scary, y'all. Pat said, my mother told me that I was born with a veil over my face. She said when I was little, I would see a man. I would describe him and what he was wearing. We were the only two in the house. Wow. This scared her. So it also scared me because of her. I always wish that it didn't scare her so it could have been explored. Yeah. People get scared of the unknown, right? Like if I had a ghost in my house that kept looking the fuck at me, I would be scared. I would have to leave. I wouldn't know what I wouldn't know what to do, y'all. I wouldn't know what to do. Okay. Johnny said, okay, She said she saw the figure that looked like me standing outside my door with a cape on. And when she called my name, the figure turned and started walking toward her. I turned on the light and the figure disappeared. What? Did y'all hear this shit that Johnny, were you able to go to sleep? Was your mother able to sleep after that? Nah, we would have had to move. Wow. Now, when stuff like that, Zen, question to you and question to Johnny, when stuff like that happens, do y'all start exploring the history of the house that you lived in? Because that's the same thing I asked my granddaughter. I said she need to go to the library and explore the lands that the townhouses are built on. Oh my God, Johnny, your story scared me because that shit was walking toward her and she saw it too, and you saw it. So it was real. I know that's right, the general. Do it. Wow, that is scary. I put the guest link up in case anybody wants to join in and talk about their scariest moments. Okay. Brandilla said, one time after my grandmother passed, we were having Thanksgiving at her house. My grandfather was still alive. Everyone was seated and eating, and some of her little crystal figurines fell and on the shelf. Oh, wait. Some of the little crystal figurines fell and a shelf fell out. We all felt that was my grandmother's spirit making itself known. I wasn't scared though. We felt her presence. Wow. 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 It's scary though. I know y'all got me scared and I love to be scared. Shit. Good thing I thought about this. I ain't think y'all motherfuckers was really gonna have creepy shit like this. Wow. The general says, since this is Halloween, I figured I'd say I actually was dating a woman that thought she was a vampire. I remember you saying that. I remember you saying that, the general, and I can't remember whether you said whether she tried to bite your ass or some shit like, Yup, Brandilla, remember he did? That's how we know he telling the truth. That's how we know he telling the truth. Heart to Fire says spirits and demons can be territorial. See? So Zen, did you ultimately move or did you continue to sleep in that attic? I'm asking. Cause I think I'd have moved. I couldn't have did it. I say that, right? I say that, but I don't know if I could have did it, right? I've never had an experience where I was haunted. Now, I have had sleep paralysis. Anybody on here suffered sleep paralysis where they could not open their eyes or they could not wake up, or you have a dream within a dream? That's some of the scariest shit that have happened to me. Like I would be dreaming. I remember I had this one dream and something was happening to me. I can't remember the dream clearly, but I remember trying to force myself to wake up. I was saying to myself, this is a dream. Open your eyes, wake up. And all of a sudden, I opened my eyes and I woke up, but I wasn't up. Now I'm underwater and I'm swimming. And I'm like, I'm still not up. And I'm trying to force myself, and I could feel myself in my sleep trying to wake myself up, but I couldn't wake up. And listen, I was scared. It's happened to me a couple of times. Either I think I'm up, but I'm in a whole nother dream, or I'm fighting myself to wake up and I can't move. Anybody suffer sleep paralysis before? I have not had that in years, and I hope I didn't manifest it because I'm not trying to manifest that shit. Okay. That is very, very scary. Okay. Not being able to get up, not being able to move, right? And constantly dreaming when you're trying to wake the fuck up. That's very scary. All right. Let's hear what Hearts of Fire has to say. Zen say, yes, the house was actually on the historical register. It was a row home that used to be one huge house. It belonged to Prince Murat, who was Napoleon's brother-in-law. After that, it was a dorm for a girls' school. Then it was a bunch of stuff over the years. Damn, good for you, Zen, for researching that. Let's see what I love that because I often ask people, do you research the shit after you find out what's been going on in your house or whatever the case may be? Let's see what Hearts of Fire. Hearts of Fire, you coming on? There she is.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. So
Good
I want to
morning.
talk about the sleep paralysis thing. Maybe about 12 years ago, 13 years ago, my mother passed suddenly. Sorry, guys, I'm running late for work. My mother passed suddenly, so I have went through like so many changes, gotten to church and, praying heavily, lighting candles, fasting, just praying all the time, praying, fasting also. Be careful about what you open yourself up to. So, what I used to do every night, I used to put myself into a state because you can do that you're able to connect yourself with the spirit world. No lie. When I used to lay there in my bed and go to sleep, in my doorway, spirits, different spirits. Now, some of them would be good and some of them would be bad, would come through the door. And you feel like a heaviness on your chest. One night, it became so bad that I couldn't move my mouth. My arms, it almost felt like it was smothering me. That's when, I had to have somebody come, bless my place, sage my place, wash my floors with ammonia and stuff like that, go through the whole rituals. But these spirits and demons are real. They're all around us, but things, and you can talk to somebody and they say, "Oh, I was just thinking that. Oh, I was just thinking about you." And believe you me, spirits are real. The atmosphere is alive because when you say something, that's why they say always speak positive because the atmosphere is alive. So be careful about opening up yourself to spirits and stuff like that. And people do that sometimes out of sorrow, which is definitely what I did a long time ago. But I have posted also last year, my daughter told me that she saw something hovering over me while I was sleeping. So, I got the sage my house. I wore white scarves over my head when I went to bed because they say that your bedding is not supposed to be black, that you're supposed to always have your linen light so that the evil spirits don't sleep with you in your bed.
My sheets are white.
Mine's still black. I'm a little bit hard-headed, but I stay in prayer. I keep, trust me, don't look at what you see. I stay in prayer.
Okay.
And I keep my scriptures playing at night to give me a peaceful rest throughout my household. But anyway, I got to go because, after last night, I'm late for work.
All right, Mama. And you looked good last night. Thank you for hopping on. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Oh my God, y'all, with the freaking scary stories. Wow. So Hearts of Fire had the experience of several ghosts. And they were holding her down and suffocating her. And even a year ago, if y'all didn't hear her daughter saw something hovering over her mom while she was asleep. Wow. That's really scary. All right. Um, Pat said, yes, I was paralyzed, can't move, but I could open my eyes. The color was a hazy yellow, but a figure would stand over me. I just say the Lord's Prayer over and over until I wake up. What do you think you are seeing? I mean, Pat, have you ever tried to break down what you thought you were seeing through that hazy yellow? Like it didn't do we automatically think that when we have sleep paralysis and we see a figure or someone says there's a figure floating over us, why do we always assume that it's evil, right? Could it be a positive spirit? Could it be a good spirit? I'm asking because these stories are scary as hell. They really are. Um, Cheryl Lee said, yes, they are hearts of fire. My mom and dad transitioned in my house, and I communicate with them all the time. I feel their presence. Wow. 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 Johnny Leon Hill said, one night after my aunt passed, I had a dream that I was in a house that was completely white with no furniture. My aunt and I sat down and she asked me, are you ready to go? And I was about to go with her. And out of nowhere, my mom came and said, it's not his time to go. And then I woke up. You know what? Wow, y'all are really coming through today. Hey, one reliable sin. Y'all are really coming through today with the creepiest shits this creepiest and the scariest things that have ever happened. Oh my God, here go Georgie. Thank you, Georgie, for jumping on. I talked about that porch shit because I was worried about you. But y'all are coming through. So Georgie, today, because of what happened to you last night, I made today's topic, what is the creepiest and the scariest thing that have ever happened to you? And the first thing I talked about when I came on here, Georgie, was your experience last night with the stranger on your porch. Okay, when I saw the video, I was terrified for you. I heard your voice when you called 911. You were afraid. Now, the one question I didn't get to ask you last night was, were you there by yourself, or was your boyfriend in the house with you and your kids? Or was it just you and the kids? Hey, Tanya, good morning. Georgie said, hey, y'all, creepy was my Sunday morning with the dumb making a bed of my porch. I told y'all he laid down. So he was going to sleep there, Georgie? I saw him lay down. I saw him lay down in the video. So he was going to sleep there. Was he homeless? He looked like he had some mental issues. This is crazy. So, Tanya, we're talking about what is the creepiest and the scariest thing that has ever happened to you. And some of the folks on here this morning came through with some real creepy shit. Right? Some real creepy shit. Okay, you were all there, still hella crazy. Yeah. And you said, Georgie, the cops never came. Because then at one point, I saw you say the cops never came. And then at one point, then I saw you update and say the cops showed up. Did they come to your house? And was the motherfucker still there? Like, I need details. Like, what happened? Like, we're not even safe in behind our doors in our house. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh, talking about behind our doors in our house, right? Y'all saw what happened to Nancy Pelosi's husband? So they broke into Nancy Pelosi's house looking for Nancy and beat up her husband with a hammer. What in the fucks is going on? Like, it wasn't enough that they stormed the Capitol. Now they turn around and they go in Nancy's house looking for Nancy. She happened to have been in Washington, D.C., but her husband was getting hammered while they were asking him, where is Nancy? We're not even safe behind closed doors, y'all. This is why people keep saying, go to the gun range and learn how to exercise your rights. Georgie said Ring has a community forum. Of course they do. I joined the one here and we have a Ring in my building. And everyone said he is homeless and crazy. See? Homeless and crazy. So he must jump from house to house trying to sleep on people's porches. Georgie said the cops came 3 hours later. This is crazy. 3 hours later, the cops showed up. Oh, you posted your video an hour later? Because I was like, what in the holy? Okay. Mm. Pat said, yes, it could be good. Like we're talking about, how Hearts of Fire said there was a spirit. Her daughter saw a spirit floating above her. And sometimes we see spirits in the house. And sometimes, people don't believe you when you tell them you see a spirit in the house, but everybody want to go to church and catch the Holy Ghost, but they don't believe in the bad ghosts, right? And so I asked y'all to tell me y'all scariest and creepiest experiences that y'all might have had with across your lifetime at any point. And y'all came through on here today with some scary, scary shit. All right. But then I asked the question now, when you see a spirit, do y'all automatically assume it's bad? And Hearts of Fire said, um, it could be, they could be good as well. Or, oh, they could be good as well. Okay. Good morning, Damaris. Good morning, Ghost. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Um, Yes, Pat said it could be good, right? Pat, not Hearts of Fire. Pat said, yes, it could be good. I was home alone, laying down. My mother was at the hospital and her sister died. A hand gently touched my shoulder with a light breeze. I jumped around. No one was there. That was my aunt saying goodbye to me. Wow. So sometimes it could be a good spirit. We don't automatically have to assume it's bad. And so, this is what I told, my granddaughter when she said she was seeing this man in the house. I said, he's not communicating. You don't communicate with it. Don't say shit to it. Just see it's there and keep going. Right? Don't say nothing to it. Don't communicate. Don't open yourself up to it because you don't know whether it's good or bad. So just leave it. That's what the fuck I said. I'm not a spirit professional, but what the hell? I cannot. All right. Georgie said they said he usually sleeps at bus stops throughout the city. I don't know why the fuck he ended up in my neighborhood because I'm saying he was like, and he wasn't leaving even though he heard you. That's why I say he got mental issues because he heard you on the ring telling him to get off your porch and shit. That is crazy to me. That is really creepy and scary. And it's fucking Halloween. This ain't the time for y'all to be showing up on people's porches. We know all about Michael Myers and shit like that. Georgie said he could hear me on the ring telling dispatch what he looks like and what he had on, and then he got up and left. I saw him lay the fuck down. I thought he was there for the night. I was like, oh my God. Okay. We have to look out for each other. We definitely do. Like, how close are y'all with y'all neighbors? Right? Can you rely on your neighbors to help you in the event that something creepy or scary was happening to you? Can you rely on your neighbors? Right? Or do you have to only rely on the cops showing up 3 hours later? Like, how the fuck does the cops show up 3 hours later when you call them and you tell them that there's a strange man on your porch and he is not leaving and he can hear you and he's still not leaving? How does the cops show up 3 hours later? How? Listen, Pat. Listen, Pat, I am with you. I am with you with that. All right. In lieu of Halloween, y'all. Okay, Pat has a message. Okay, the message is do not mess with Ouija boards. Do not mess with them. I don't give a fuck. I'm surprised that they sell them shits in the kids section. The first time that I saw a Ouija board in Toys R Us with the board games right next to Monopoly and Scrabble, I was like, what? They actually sell these shits in the toy store next to Monopoly and shit. I thought you could only get Ouija boards if you went to a witchcraft store. But no, you could get them shits from the toy store. That ain't no toy, y'all. Don't fuck with that. That ain't no toy. I don't care what nobody say. Don't buy your kid that for Christmas. That is not a toy. They don't even need to sell that shit in a toy shop. They don't. Now, I love watching scary movies, but I'm not trying to make it my reality. Don't do it, y'all. I'm with you, Pat. I'm glad you brought that shit up. Georgie said, if it took police 3 hours, imagine how long the coroner would have taken if he breached my doorway and got shot up to death because the tools was out. I know that shit is right. The coroner might have taken a long time too, Georgie, because I have witnessed where the coroner don't come until a whole next day. That fucking body be stinking and shit. They just tell you to cover it. Cause some, like New York only has one coroner. I don't live in New York, but I'm talking from experience. I haven't experienced death in New Jersey and that whole coroner thing, but New York has one coroner. And let me tell you something. My girlfriend's husband managed a senior citizen building, and so you know what happens. Okay, they pass away. All right. And this lady body sat in the house, in the apartment all fucking day. Hours and hours and hours. Okay. So he might have been out there for a while. Oh, Pat, I need to hear about that experience. So Pat said, do not buy a Ouija board. That shit will scare you. I had a very bad experience. What is the experience you had with the Ouija board? Please do not mess with these things. Okay, please. All right. Damaris said, I was having a bad day and I felt a tap on my shoulder. When I turned around, there was no one there, but I knew it was my brother, letting me know that everything is going to be okay. Wow. You see the stories? And even though that's a beautiful story, right? At the time you felt that tap, I bet you your ass was scared when you turned around and nobody was there, right? Sometimes it's good. It's a good spirit. Brandella, me neither. And I'm going to tell you no lie. If I go to somebody's fucking house and they be like, let's Ouija board, I'm going to be like, don't call me ever again. Lose my number. I'm going to block that motherfucker. I'm not speaking to them ever again. I don't even want the energy near me. Okay? Serious. I will not. You will not see me ever again because I will not be fucking involved in none of that shit that you doing. I watch too many horror movies, y'all. I watch too many horror movies. Oh my God, y'all are scaring me because I can't mess around now. Y'all are really scaring me. This is really this is a Halloween edition show for real, y'all. Shirley said, yes, Pat, don't mess with the Ouija boards if you don't know what you're doing. Yes, it is very real. I don't give a fuck if you know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, leave them shits alone. They need to stop selling them shits in the toy stores. And Pat said, yes, they tap on your shoulder. Mm. Wow, scary. Brandilla, you and me. Oh my God, Damaris. Now, I can't even cut you off. Damaris, I just said if anybody was in my circle that fucked with a Ouija board, I was going to have to cut them off. But I can't even cut you off. Can you please never do that again? Oh, my God. Don't ever do that shit again. I don't give a shit. Damaris said, I played that once and it scared the shit out of me. Never again. I can't even believe you played a Ouija board, but you were scared of my two little Yorkies. You couldn't even walk in the house with the two little Yorkies, but you played with a fucking Ouija board? Oh, you were young. Okay, cuz. Don't do that shit no more. And if any of your friends suggested at this old ass age we in, cut them off, block their fucking number, delete their information out your phone, and act like you never knew their ass. Shit. I can't. Ghost. No, Ghost, see, Ghost, you wrong. Ghost, no. Ghost said they sell it at the toy store because it's just a game, people. No, it is not just a game, Ghost. Look at your whole damn name. It's not a game. The fuck? Stop. Why somebody want to buy a game to conjure spirits? Stop that. Did y'all see The Conjuring? Do y'all watch this shit? Georgie said, if I wasn't so tired last night, I wanted to look for dude and egg him for mischief night because he fucked up my night up coming to my crib. I know he did. I know he did. I heard it in your voice. I was scared for you, Georgie. I was like, oh my God. Stop that, Ghost. It's not. Damaris, I love scary movies though. I love scary movies, but shit, I wouldn't watch no more either if I touch one of them shits. Oh my God. Wait, Ghost Ghost said the Ouija board, he said, because it doesn't conjure nothing but your nerves. Uh-uh. Let me inbox Fancy K and tell her if you show up with a fucking Ouija board to get rid of your ass. Cause stop that. Okay. Johnny said mom was missing my granddad one time and asked if he could watch over the house that night. She heard footsteps walking around the house. She thought it was me until she heard when she felt him standing by her bed. She said, "Thank you, Daddy," and felt him leave. Wow. You see? You Ghost, you hear these stories? These are real stories. These are experiences that your coffee with friends peeps have had, okay, in their life with spirits, okay, good and bad. Angel said both my grandparents still visit me. Granddaddy passed in the 90s and my mama passed in 2015. I love it when they show up. Angel, how do they show up? Do they tap you on the shoulder? Do they knock shit over? What happens when they show up? Okay, Ghost, you saying it's dreams? We're dreaming? Like when the people on here that's telling these stories, they're dreaming? Now, we can't invalidate people's experiences. How do they show up, Angel? Do they knock shit over? Do they tap you on the shoulder? Right? Because Ghost, you missed when we talked about sleep paralysis. Now, that ain't no fucking dream. Now, and people on here have experienced sleep paralysis. Oh, you feel them and you smell them. Okay. Love it. She feels them and she smells them. I love that. Ghost said, let me know. Let me not say dream. Some people say they experience it, but I don't believe in that. Well, this is what I started out with in the beginning, goes because I said people don't believe in this, but people say they believe in God, and people go to church and catch the Holy Ghost. Like, you can't be like that. You can't believe in God and then go the devil doesn't exist. But then what do you need God for? What are you praying against the evil if there's no evil? Right. And that's where the hypocrisy comes in for me. Like, so many people believe in the Bible and believe in the good spirit and all this and the angels and everything, right? Whether you believe in the Quran, whether you believe, in the Bible or whatever it is you read, right? But as soon as we start talking about evil spirits, people are like, I don't believe it. So then what you praying so hard for? What the hell? What we need protection from? What we need protection from if nobody believe in the evil? Right? Shara Lee said lucid dreams and astral traveling has been scientifically proven to actually happen. Research it. Wow. That's what I feel like I used to do when I was a kid, when I used to wake up and still be in these dreams. But I would feel everything in a dream and I would be fighting myself to wake up in the bed. I mean, I remember, no lie. One time I even felt my hands go to my eyelids and stretch them open, begging for me to open like trying to get me to open my eyes, and I just couldn't. That was the scariest shit in the world. Right? That was the scariest shit in the world. Okay, you don't believe in Jesus or the Bible. Okay, so let's go back to African spirituality, right? African spirituality. They believed in evil spirits. No, right? They had witch doctors and such. No, right? Even if you're not Christian, right? Even if you practice African spirituality, right? People that practice African spirituality, and I'm not that knowledgeable of it, right? They believe in the ancestors are watching over them, right? Why you need ancestors to watch over you if there's no evil, right? And this is not talking about the Bible or Jesus, right? Just African spirituality, right? Angel said, unpopular opinion, Christianity is not for the black people. I'm just saying. I don't know the fuck. I just don't know. I don't know. But listen, y'all, it is Halloween. What are y'all doing today after work? I wanted to try to go into the city today, but my legs are still on fire from yesterday. I walked all over the city yesterday, so I don't think I'm gonna make it into the city today. And I also changed my dental appointment from yesterday to today with not being reminded of myself or reminding myself that I wanted to go into the city. So I'm supposed to go and get two fillings, okay, today. And then I want to jump over here in Hackensack over to this street called Clinton Place where they decorate and they do this big thing on Halloween. It was slow because of the pandemic, but I think this year is going to be probably the first year that, it's back, right? And it's just people that own homes on that street. They all get together and they just decorate the street and they rope off their houses so you can't come on their property. And it's just nice. It's a nice local Halloween experience. So I'm going to do that, I think, later on tonight. Just go and take a walk up there or whatever and see what's going on, right? Probably later, like 8, 9 o'clock, something like that. When all the kids are done with the trick or treat, and I'll go and visit the area, you know? But I just want to say this Halloween, and Georgie had a very bad experience last night. And I want to say this people, if you are going to go out today, right? Yes, there's polarity in everything, Angel. You are so right. Um, be careful, y'all. Be careful out here in these streets, all right? Because, I know it's a fun night, a mischievous night, but everybody gonna have fucking costumes and shit on, masks and shit on, and different things like that. Just be safe, right? We constantly hear how things are happening, on a regular basis. And, times are hard. People are struggling. They might start going back to mugging motherfuckers. You remember how motherfuckers used to just get mugged for their wallets on the street? They don't do that no more, right? You know, I don't know what's going on in the world, but, you know, listen, yesterday as I was walking around the city, every time I thought I saw what looked like an Army Navy store, I got excited because I really need to go and get some pepper spray, right? And so today I'm going to Google an Army and Navy store that's close here that might sell pepper spray. I know I said I was going to go to Dave's. I mean, what's the Dick's, right? But I want to see if I have an Army and Navy store local. If I do, I'm gonna run and go buy some pepper spray because I'm tired of these motherfuckers acting crazy out here. And that'll give me a reason. I would love to spray somebody. That's probably why I don't have it. Because I would look for any reason to spray you. What? You getting the fuck smart? What? The fuck? What? So I need some discipline, y'all. But protect yourselves tonight. Okay. It is mischievous night. Protect yourself tonight and protect your children. Check your kids' candies. Make sure if your kid has any allergies, you are removing anything that they're allergic to that's in their basket. And make sure you are checking for anything that somebody might have put in your child's bag to harm your kids. See, when I used to go trick-or-treating in the 70s, okay, they used to put razor blades and shit and apples and shit like that, right? That was that was the thing, right? Don't eat the apples and don't do this and don't do that, and check the candy and make sure there was no holes poked in the paper that wrapped the candy, all kinds of shit, right? And so don't say we ain't the fuck tell you on Coffee with Friends, okay? Pat said, dreaming my ass. My friend gave her daughter that board for Christmas. I babysat her two daughters, age 12 and 13. I turned off the lights and burned candles and played the board with them. You turned the lights off and burnt the candles? Hold up. Hold the fuck up. You turned the lights off and burnt the candles? That's the rules of the game? Does the game say you need to do that? Because I know that's what they do on TV, but Pat said it moved on its own, cursing and very obscene. I turned the lights on, threw the board in the closet, and will not mess with it again. So when you turned the lights off and lit the candles, the shit started moving and cussing and going crazy. And you threw the board in the closet. Nothing else happened after that. Cheryl Lee said lucid dreaming can be controlled. Some people use herbs to intentionally project. They use it, dispelled bad karma, and manifest. Okay. Like, is it similar to like the tribes, like the Native Americans, how they smoke the pipe and they go into this, hallucinant type dream? Is it like that? Or is it like when people smoke marijuana and they just feel woozy and they start ciphering? Is it like that? Angel says somebody said drugs are too expensive now. Ain't nobody putting it in candy no more. I know that's right. But you got to make sure someone didn't drop some edibles in your kids' baskets. No, seriously, guys, right? Because the edibles look like regular candy, like the Skittles and the Sour Patch Kids and shit like that. People are mean, right? So just make sure nobody drop but shit. Bring your kids' bags here. I'll check and see what's in there. And take out the bad stuff. But seriously, y'all, check your kids' shit for real. Okay, because they got edibles that look like real candy, and people are fucking mean. They are. And people make mistakes. Check your shit. But right, Angel, I know that's right. Okay. Ghost said believing in that game is like believing Candyman going to show up if you call his name in the mirror. Go ahead, you go do it though, Ghost. Go call the motherfucking name in the mirror. How many times? Do it each time that amount of times that they said, and then let me know how that works out. As a matter of fact, don't, because if you do it, I'ma block you. I'ma block you. I'ma block anybody that's conjuring any damn spirits. The fuck. Well, anyway, y'all, it is 9:07, right? And I'm dressed as Mother Nature because that's what the gentleman Darren named me on TikTok this morning, right? So I love that. All right. And so I just want to say this. If you guys are going to dress up today, I saw so many costumes yesterday. We walked past Washington Square Park. People were dressed up, their dogs was dressed up. I love seeing it. People, you know why I love it? Because people are just doing them. I saw a couple walking down the street with their dogs and they were all dressed as hot dogs. I loved it. Like, I want my man to have that kind of energy. I need my man to do shit like that with me, right? Like, just be who we are. I love it. All right. But you guys have a happy Halloween. And again, be careful out there. No drinking and driving. Check your freaking goodie bags when you come back to. If you go into costume parties and shit like that, still be careful. COVID is still out here, right? I know I'm out in these streets, but I still yesterday when we stopped in a Converse store and motherfuckers sat next to me, I pulled my mask out and I put my mask on. If nobody is around me and I'm outside and the air is flowing, I'm not worried. All right. But I still put my mask on when people come too close to me, unless I'm in the fucking bar. And I try to sit as far from people as possible in the bar, but you are where you are. Okay. Oh, Ghost. Wait a minute. I didn't see the referee costume. Did she tag me? Did she tag me in it on IG? She said she was gonna tag me and I didn't see it. Ghost, if you find the post, please tag me in it because I want to see it. Anybody that's dressing up on on this show who is dressing up today, please post your pictures and tag at Raw to the Bone hashtag Coffee with Friends so that we can collect the pictures under that hashtag, right? That would be so bomb, y'all. But anyway, y'all, if you're not following me, go to the link in my bio. If you came in on IG, give me the hearts. If you came in on YouTube, give me the thumbs up. Tomorrow we will go back to regular topics. All right, for Tuesday. Right. Oh, hashtag Fit Friends, y'all. Quickly before I end the show. Don't go. Hashtag Fit Friend. Today is the last day. Today is our 15th day. So tomorrow we're going to spend at least 15 minutes talking about how these last 15 days were for you in your challenge. Did you do the challenge? How challenging was the challenge? If the challenge was too easy, what would you like to see in the next challenge? When should we start the next challenge, right? So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. Okay, so today is the last day for you to get in your 64 ounces minimum of water, which should be a habit by now. So you should be getting this in even after today, right? Because the water is always going to be a part of our challenge, right? We got to stay dehydrated. I mean, hydrated. We want to avoid dehydration. We want to stay hydrated, okay? And then, make sure you get in your 30 minutes of movement today because today is the last day, right? And we will go in tomorrow and talk about what these last 15 days, how positive they were for you. Also, reminder, Hashtag reading with friends, right? Let me know what days y'all are going to be available to do the book club. We could do a Sunday even, if we want to do a Sunday. Let me know what day. We are reading It Didn't Start With You by Mark Wolin, and we started reading that October 24th, and we should be done reading it by November 11th. Now this book is deep, okay? And so, it's taking me a while to get through it, because let me tell you something, I'm still going through chapter 1. I've highlighted stuff, I've written notes. It made me sit back and think about some things. It made me have a ooh wow moment. It's a very deep book. So it's taking me some time to get through it. I don't want to rush and read it, right? And even if you don't finish the book by November 11th, we will talk about the parts that we did finish. Okay? All right. All right, y'all. So with that, we got a lot of things going on with Coffee with Friends, because we are trying to heal from the body and the mind. Right. We're working on both. And I appreciate you guys' participation in these events. All right. And so, milestone leaders, I know I said I was going to jump in the inbox this past weekend, but I didn't. I took a break. Right. And with that, y'all, follow me. The link is in my bio. Follow me on IG, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. If you go to YouTube, hit subscribe, hit the bell. Make sure you are following me. Our book reading will only be on YouTube. Okay. No, I might extend it out to IG and Facebook. I might, because it's good information. So I might extend it out to the other platforms, because this book is so deep. I think a lot of people need to understand what we're reading and why we're reading it and how it impacted us. So I'm probably going to open it up to all three platforms. Okay. But in the meantime, between time, let me give y'all the vibes that we are leaving out on, because I always tell y'all what.
Even when you feel low, you can still go.
You can.
Even when you feel slow, you can still go.
Yes.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go.
Absolutely.
I never answered a no, man, I still go.
Hey, go. And with that, this is Coffee with Friends, and I am raw to the bone. Happy Monday. Happy Halloween. Be safe and love up on your brothers and sisters, y'all. And with that, gone for now, but never forever. Peace. Get this message on your way out.
I'm doing shit my way, or the highway, and in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredients, believe. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy.
Hey.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answered a no, man, I still go.
Peace, y'all. I'm out.
Go.
Go. Peace.